still happening. It's just not as overt. When you look at TV, you don't see a fair, equal representation of people of color. You know, when there's a show on TV, it's like this black show is on TV, or like, that's a big deal. That should be an everyday occurrence, because we are all like dynamic humans and creatures, and we haven't evolved past race still. So it's like, still nigga, like that's, you know, those points are like real important to me. You know, I think that of course the headlines would be about being Kanye and things like that, but like this album has a lot of topics, you know, that's why it had to be so short. It's so condensed. It's so dense with subject matters and all these other things that if it was longer, you wouldn't be able to take it. It would like wear you out.
Never forget those true things that you stick to, the basic things that make you successful. And for me, it's that truth, finding that truth, the truth of the moment of where I am at the time. You know, not trying to cater to a certain demographic. I was around music my whole life. My mom and pop had like a huge record collection, so I started out listening to music early on, and I would just write music. You know, I just had a love from there. I didn't get to it, you know, I got caught into my neighborhood and my surroundings, but I've always taken it with me, and I've always went back to it, and it just got to a point where it was like, make this decision. This is something you really love and you love to do. It's time to really focus on it and get serious about it and give it your all. And once I did that, it was no looking back from there. My advice is to do things that are true to you. Most things that I'm involved with are extension of being creative. You know, Rocawear is a clothing company. It's part of who you are, and hip hop is your attitude and what you're trying to express, how you dress. I love sports growing up. I grew up in a household where sports was on 24/7. So these are all things that are comfortable for me. You know, these are things that I like. So I would just say get involved in things that you love, and also have a standard for yourself and have some sort of integrity, and try to, you know, find some sort of truth in what you're doing. All the things that you apply in business, you know, they say that he has great instincts. Well, on the streets, having great instincts can be the difference between life and death, not just losing a deal or incarceration, you know, which is less than death. And being a person of high integrity, you know, people want to deal with you in business, in trust, and honorable, a man of your word. All these things come to play in business world. I'm not condoning anything, any street activity. It's just the way it is. It's not about who got more money and who got more house. You know, you earned it, buy what you want. But don't forget what's important. Without people, and just being rich would be very boring. No one to share with, no one to have. You know what I mean? Like, just be a rich person, one person on the planet, just like, well, then what do you do? Things don't happen to you, they happen for you. That's life. Everything is life. It happens for you. Everything is for your greatest good. You can't control the future. I mean, you can control it up to some point. You can't control what others do. You can't control anything. Someone can run a red light, and that's the end of everything. You know, you only can control what you can control. Seeing things from other people's perspective and what other people are going through, you know, it helps me a lot.
Was that somebody else that helped you get to that? Is that therapy? Is that group? Is that
part of therapy, but part of being who I am, you know, but definitely a lot of therapy. And I've been taught everything but emotional intelligence. You know, that's not what you're taught as a young man growing up in the projects. You're taught to survive. I come from the school of making albums. I know right now, you know, everything being digital and everything being so fast and everything that, you know, separate and people, you know. I try to make albums because for me, it's a capsule of time. You know, it's not just music for me. You know, for me, it's where I was at this moment, or what I'm trying to capture. And what I'm trying to capture, the blueprint is, you know, what I call a new classic, because it's influenced by the Marvin Gaye's and the generation before us, but it's not a recreation of what they've done. My interpretation of it, and it's me making my mark. It's saying, here, this is what I want to be remembered as right here. I think every move made, like we're going to compare it to chess, I think every move made is to be learned from, whether it was a good or a bad move. And I think it all sets you on a path. So in order for me to take back any of those moves, I would have to be unhappy with where I am now. And where I am now is, I couldn't even imagine in my wildest dreams
that I would be here. So for me to take any of those moves back would be affecting the natural course of where I am now. So I wouldn't want to be anywhere else. I mean, of course, there are things in life that you say I could have done differently, but knowing that and being aware of that, for me, has helped me. You know, every chess move that I made, I was like, he's gonna do that. It's like, it was followed up because I learned from that one. Okay, now I have to change my strategy because, you know, I moved that there, he's gonna move there. Now I have to move this over here. So at the end of the game, I believe I trapped the queen in the corner, to use a great analogy, and have the king in my side. So I'm pretty happy with where I am. That meant most to me, and always coming up, I always believed in the way you live your life, you affect the outcome of your life, you know, calm and everything. So I just want to be remembered as a very honest and straight up guy. You know, I'm pretty much a mirror. If someone's cool with me, and like energies attract, right? You give off energy, you get that energy back. So just a person that was of the utmost integrity, you know, honest, very hardworking, and someone who really cared about the culture. Because at the end of the day, that's what I'm pushing everyone for. I always had that in the back of my mind, and then I got to a point where I was like, man, I don't want to ever just do it to do it. And then it was this opportunity. So those two things combining led to the retirement. And then, of course, the love for it. Like with anything else, the love for making music, you know, start pulling me back to the studio. And it was like, yeah, for me, I was happy about it. Because I was like, yeah, that's the feeling I want. Go in with making an album. I want to have something to say, feel like I need to do it, as opposed to it's November and, you know, put an album out. That admiration when people look at me and say, first black president, right? Because for me, like I said, when I walk in the room, I represent the culture. I love the culture and I love to honor it in that way. So when people look at me like that, it just gives me more motivation to keep, you know, to continue to open doors for that next generation of artists. Like I said, this is the thing that saved my life, hip hop. You know, I don't know where I would be without it. There were no backup plans. So for me, it's very important. And when people recognize that, you know, it just lets me know that I'm doing the right thing.
What's up, people?
Belief in oneself and knowing who you are, I mean, that's the foundation of everything great. You gotta take the money. What I'm gonna say? I wouldn't tell you to cut a bad deal. Like, take the $500,000, go buy some albums and listen to the albums. It's all there. If you piece it together and really listen to the music for the words, for what it is, it's all there. Everything that I said was gonna happen, happened. Everything that I said I wanted to do, I've done. And there's the blueprint. The blueprint, literally, to me and my life and my journey is there already.
If you pay attention and you actually keep whatever information is coming in front of you, that you choose what's valuable. But the things that you do here that are valuable, if you make it your business to keep it, even if you have to write it down, so you have to say it to yourself or whatever, and you just keep, the person says something and you go, what did you just say? And hold on to it until it becomes a part of you in the way you actually would express yourself at different points. And then you develop a more advanced presentation.
And I was saying, like, I don't think people realize that we just sit around all the time and like, can you believe this shit?
Can you fucking believe it?
I can't believe this shit.
That I've been able to do.
Just the place where we from and where we come from. Like, everyone has that story, right? We all from tough locations, and that's just the way the world was set up. But just like the things that we were able to overcome and where we sit now today.
Like, even when you see the guy's a billionaire, he's still making big business transactions because it's how he got to the position he's in now. He didn't change as a person. Mm-hmm. So he's going to pursue more until there's like no more to get. The everything's theirs. Mm-hmm. And then the object is to kind of, you have to put the money back. When you get to the top of the board, you have to put the money back so everybody else can function, and because it's not going to change anything in your life anyway at that point.
You know, and as far as like, you know, success, I just look at it like all the people that I was inspired by. Like Muhammad Ali was like he gave me my bravado. You know, I'm like, when people see that I'm like, I have total belief in myself, not because it comes from a place of like arrogance and just this pompousness. It's just like, I felt proud, like in a time when we all were being called ugly, when Muhammad Ali was like, I'm so pretty, I'm the greatest, and like people paid to see him lose. That's what was drawing his fights. Like people were coming there to see him lose because he was so confident in his ability, and not from a place of arrogance, because he knew he put the work in, one, and two, he lifted us all up. So, you know, I hope that at the end of this journey, or however it ends out, like I represent that as well. Like even that, if you look back to Reasonably Down, listen, like even the songs that were like more braggadocious and out there and about money were really more so directed at like the system in America. Like you put us in these situations and you handcuffed us, and you put it behind our back, and we still made our way. You guys took the music, took the drums, we beat on the table. You know what I'm saying? Like you made like blackface, we created soul music. You gave us scrap, we made soul food. Like everything that was presented to us, we made a way. So even in those songs, it's like almost like a like a peacock, like spreading his wings. Like, you know, we made it. Like, so the transition has happened. You know, because with more information that you get, you evolve and you grow. Absolutely. But even my first album came out in 26, so politics as usual, and those songs really dealt with it. Regrets on the last song on my first album, you know, those are real topics. The evils, you know, just talking about, you know, the relationship and how money can come between friends. You know, we haven't had money for a long time, so we don't know we're not professionals at navigating how to communicate from that space. Absolutely. Right? Some people haven't evolved past 16. They still stuck in that place. But you evolving every year. So that may be a threat to them. Subconsciously or consciously, cousins in your grandma's living room saying, yo man, I got this play. I wanna, if you just give me, you know what I mean? 4,800, I could make you 2 million. You like, it don't work like that, fam. And you gotta explain to him like, life isn't like that. Money isn't free, and no one's giving opportunities. If it sounds too good to be true, it's really. And then he like, oh, you don't believe in my dream.
We think we got it hard here. It's not hard here. You don't see how people fight to come across the border? They want to be here, bro. You see what I'm saying? Like if you go and look, when you get into those other territories, when their lower level, their poverty is more extreme than ours. You see what I'm saying? And we got some people that have just decided not to try. They're more comfortable in a tent with nothing on their schedule every day. Some of them make the decision to just get the tent and feel no pressure to make it or no pressure to do anything. You know what I mean? And that's just I can't comprehend the thinking. Like, you know, my thought process is so different from them that I can't relate to it, but it's real. And that it's the disciplines that for the average person, so they understand the metaphor, is try the treadmill with no music. See how long you do that, because you'll be in your head so much and you hear yourself breathing, you ain't gonna do it as long as you usually do it. When you can put the music on and just go, it takes your mind off of it, you can do the work a lot easier. Like, look, when you don't have a person to compete with, you need to make that person. It'll help you work when you're tired. You know what I mean? Like, point to someone who does something well and you go, all right, that's what I'm competing with. You don't gotta notice him. You don't have to notify him. It's more sophisticated if you don't notify him, right? But you know he's a great photographer, you know he's good at what he's doing or whatever it is, and it makes you push yourself to the next level and find something that, you know, cinematographers, different things there that you want to make something great. Now you're like, I should have lighted a fire under you. You see something new come out from them and you're like, he dropped that. Wait till you see what I'm gonna put this out.
It's like Jordan always, Last Dance, took it personal.
This is what made him great, bro. You see what I'm saying? Look, when something's going on in him that the rest of them don't have, like they're playing the game. I gotta win. He's saying I have to win this ring. And who these guys are supposed to? Yeah, I've seen it. Like it's almost. I think it fuels. It could be mistaken for a gangster energy. That when a person's like that, it's just driven, and it's like whenever a person's extremely focused, they're ruthless.
I mean, you want to play stupid, be stupid, stay broke. You know what I'm saying? That's my motto. You understand what I'm saying? For me, I'm gonna take it in. I'm gonna absorb everything that's going on and get what I can get. Ain't no scoop for this shit, stupid. Ain't no school for this shit. You gotta be smart enough to pick up the information as you go. Now the crazy shit is niggas that look like you doing something wrong. Why do wrong? If you can find a nigga that can tell you that I own something, find one nigga that can say, yo, that nigga 50 owe me something, or I'll give him whatever you say I owe him, but cause I can't remember a nigga doing nothing for me, nigga. Now motherfuckers say you crazy, nigga call me crazy, you know I be thinking when they say that? Niggas say I'm crazy, I be thinking, yup. I was crazy enough to believe what the fuck I was saying gonna happen was gonna happen. And that's why I was persistent enough and consistent enough to exist now. You feel what I'm saying? So later on y'all can check it out. I know y'all niggas be reading 48 Laws of Power, Robert Greene. Now you're gonna read the 50th law. Cause I done got with Robert Greene to create the new shit for you to read, nigga. See what I'm saying, man? Yeah, nigga, come on, man. Don't play with me that shit. 33 Strategies of War, The Art of Seduction. Come on, man. All that shit come from the hood, B. It's a parallel between corporate America and the hood, and it's obvious. You see me winning, don't you? And fucking old timers is looking like, yo, that young boy, he took a page out of my book. But they ain't make all of that fucking money off it that I made off it. So what that make me? That make me a better version of them niggas. The old school niggas. And when you check out Maze Magazine, Felon Magazine, and fucking Don Diva and all that shit, for real, you getting ready to see a nigga just trying to reflect on the glory days. Baby, I had 10 bricks. Remember I bought you a gold watch, didn't I? Now I don't hear that shit. Tell me that shit. You see what I'm saying? Now, this is the point right here where I don't want to see a nigga who had it and don't got it no more. Really, I think them books is there in order to make niggas remember that shit, because they ain't ready to do that shit they did now. You see what I'm saying? So now they want to reflect on that shit so they can make the young boys feel like that they that hard or that serious, so they put it in like that, and then they get the young boys to do anything. They ain't fucking doing nothing. So explain to me, like, when I'm coming up, niggas is like, yo, who with him? Like, who he with? Me, nigga.
I think the most important lesson for me would be just be true to yourself. You know, it sounds like a very simple thing to do, but it's not. It's not simple to do with all the pressures to succeed and all the pressures to, once you succeed, to stay there. You have a belief in yourself, and sometimes, in most cases, it's a naivete about who you are and what you can contribute to the game. I'm trying to find that truth and trying to tap into something really important, as well as have fun. It's not always like, you know, this responsibility of trying to be great every second. Sometimes I just want to be silly. Sometimes I just want to be wrong. Sometimes I want to be provocative, 99 problems, I want to push buttons. People who you started your life off with and what success does to them. People look at you strange saying you changed, like you worked that hard to stay the same, like you're doing all this for a reason. And what happens most of the time, people change. People change around you because they start treating you different because of your success. So you are changing. You don't change who you are, the core of who you are, the things you believe, the things you love, and the things you die for, and your principles. You don't change that, but you're gonna change who you are. You're gonna change, you can't do the same things that you can't hang on the corner. Some people may not be comfortable with that. And then it deals with the other side of success, how people look at you when you're successful. Media medals, people sue you, settle. Every step you take, they remind you again. So no matter how far you are, you still have that stigma on you of where you come from when you walk inside the door. Even if you have a tuxedo on, it's like, oh yeah, that's the guy who used to be this and did that. Most kings get their head cut off. I mean, in war, battle, and in life, at the end of the day, you've achieved everything you want. You've made it to the top of the throne, and at the end of the day, you just get your head cut off. That meant most to me, and always, coming up, I always believed in the way you live your life, you affect the outcome of your life, karma and everything.